Well, once again, you caught us digging deeper in the desert. With me is Doug Greenwald, Senior Teaching Fellow at Preserving Bible Times. When Moses struck the rock, Doug, instead of speaking to it in Numbers 20, it kept him from ever setting foot in the Promised Land. Sounds pretty serious. What was so bad about that?
Jim, on the verge of entering the Promised Land, God wants to reveal some more of himself to these people. So this time he clearly instructs Moses to speak to the rock face, not strike the rock as he did before in Exodus 17. Remember two things: that to these Hebrew people, God is what God does. Secondly, to the Hebrew, for God to be glorified means for him to be accurately revealed and portrayed. If Moses obeys God's command to speak to the rock face, it will be clear to everyone that God has yet again provided water. You see, God wants to reveal himself as the nation's faithful provider, this time by the sheer power of his word. God knew that was something they would need to understand in Canaan. However, Moses ignores God's command, takes matters into his own hands by striking the rock, not speaking to it. In so doing, Moses takes part of the credit for providing water. That shifted the sole focus away from God as Moses shares the glory with God for the provision of water. In doing it that way, Moses stole God's glory, and that's a really big deal. He kept God from more fully revealing himself as the sole provider for his people. Here's today's challenge. Who's getting the glory in your life and mine? In everything we say and do, does it all point to God, or does some of it point back to you and I? Might we be stealing some of God's glory just like Moses did?
And that's how Moses got himself into really hot water. You can learn more at the website, preservingbibletime.org, and we will talk to you next time on Digging Deeper.